From the Script Studios, this is San Diego's news source, 10 News.
A brawl, and this is between family members. It erupts inside an East County courtroom moments after a man was found guilty of killing his wife, and the battle did not end there. 10 News has new video as the family poured out of the courtroom with one man being tackled by deputies.
10 News reporter Steve Fiorina is live. Steve, you've been covering court cases in San Diego for 30 years. Have you ever seen anything quite like this?
Kim, not even close. I've seen tempers flare, but only briefly. And I've seen many times people sobbing in court, just destroyed by grief. But today, this was over the top. The guilty verdict against Qasim Alamidi brought pandemonium to the courtroom. His oldest son, Muhammad, began screaming in the gallery.
That's bullshit. That's
Others joined in then, including the defendant. Then a struggle as deputies hauled the younger Alamidi out of the courtroom. He was handcuffed in the hallway and arrested. Tempers still high, though, as his younger brother on crutches had to be restrained, too. Let's back up a few minutes to the reading of the verdict. Alamidi charged with killing his wife, Shema Alawadi, beating her to death in their home after she had asked him for a divorce.
California plaintiff versus Qasim Alamidi defendant.
Alamidi listened to an interpreter on headphones.
Guilty of the crime of murder.
A delayed reaction from Alamidi, shaking his head and seeming to smile. Then waving his finger, repeatedly putting his head to the table, apparently in prayer. Then the outburst from his son and others. The interpreter filled us in on what was being yelled in Arabic.
The defendant said that God knows I am not the killer. I'm innocent.
Then the first son.
My dad is an innocent, and he was trialed and fairly.
The mother of the victim entered the fray too.
She yelled at him. She said, this is not a mistake. You did kill her.
And the younger son sided with his grandmother.
And said that my dad is the killer.
Muhammad Alamidi was handcuffed and detained. His father was also handcuffed and shackled and returned to his cell. There is no bail. Now, Alamidi faces 25 years to life when sentenced in May. That court session could be volatile too, and of course we will be here and bring you any developments. Live in El Cajon, Steve Fiorina, 10 News.
And this case took several twists and turns, so we do want to give you a closer look at the timeline of events. Shaima Alawadi was beaten inside her home March 21st of 2012. She was discovered by her 17-year-old daughter Fatima along with a note about the murder, and it appeared to be a hate crime. She died in the hospital 3 days later. Then at her funeral, it was determined the note was a fake, and there was word of family tension that began to emerge, including a possible divorce. And then November of 2012, Qasim was arrested. You can stay with 10 News for continuing coverage of this developing story. Coming up new at 6 o'clock, hear from the victim's mother the angry message that she had for her son-in-law outside court today.